welcome you to Tampa Bay. Tonight, the defending champions open up their home slate against Sporting JAX in the first ever meeting between these two budding rivals. Alongside former collegiate soccer player Jade Barquette, I'm Josh Appel. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. And Jade, last week, the title defense for Tampa Bay Sun did not get off to the best start on the road in Brooklyn.
Tampa Bay cannot figure out this Brooklyn FC team. They have never beaten them, and their first match was no different. Tampa Bay Sun starting off on that back foot, getting scored on by Brooklyn FC, but then Carly Jamona putting the team on her back late, actually in stoppage time of this game, and slotting one home to just put one on the score sheet after a cross by Sydney Nacello.
Too little, too late for Tampa Bay's Sun. It did extend their goal-scoring streak as a team to 17 in a row, the longest in the league. We talked to Denise Schulte-Brown earlier this week. She said the score, not really indicative of what the stats told us. Hard to disagree.
Absolutely. You can see it here. They did win in most of the stat categories. You see the possession, but just barely. Denise Schulte-Brown telling us they have to put away those opportunities and just get more of the possession to secure the ball to ultimately win that game.
The good news for Tampa Bay Sun, they head home tonight where they were the best team in the league a season ago.
There's something so special about playing in front of your home crowd, your family, your friends. The heat wave brings so much intensity to that stadium. And then you're also playing on your own home turf that's so unique and different for a lot of teams to try to come in and play on so early on in the season.
When we talk about the defending champs, let's talk about the newest member of the Gamebridge Super League, Sporting Club Jacksonville. DC Power last week spoiled the opener for Sporting JAX. Difficult night.
Jade Pennick did come in and score that first goal, a rocket off of the crossbar, but it was delayed. The weather pushing the game back to a later start. Almost 10,000 tickets were sold at this initial game. Fans could not make it out after that weather delay, and then DC Power took advantage of the opportunities that they have in front of goal.
Sporting JAX hitting the road tonight. Tough first ever road game for the expansion side, but there's a lot of talent on this really young team. Jade Pennick, she scored the first goal in club history last week. It was the fastest goal in league history, scored in the 7th minute, and a familiar face to the Tampa Bay Sun coaching staff, Georgia Brown.
These two players are players that they're going to look to facilitate both the defense in Georgia Brown and the attack in Jade Pennick. They're two players that are going to need to be watched in this game against Tampa Bay.
Should be a fantastic matchup here tonight from Suncoast Credit Union Field. The heat wave is getting ready. Tampa Bay Sun, Sporting JAX for the first time ever, coming up next on Peacock.
Tampa General is the region's only academic health system, which means at TGH you have an expert team of doctors and physician scientists collaborating on your care, pioneering research in their fields, using the most advanced technology, and teaching the next generation. That's why patients at academic health systems have up to 20% greater survival rates. Tampa General. Other hospitals practice medicine. We define it.
Glenn couldn't have done it without me, and I couldn't have done it without him. He had his strengths, and I had my strengths, and that's how we succeeded.
There's a lot of care and time that goes into it, and a lot of work.
We were people lovers, and people seemed to like us too, so I think that was all part of our success.
It's definitely a work culture that we inherited that GB and Evelyn put into place, and it's our job just to make it better and keep it going and make it more successful.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gamebridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, graded assists. Gamebridge, graded assists for your savings.
Welcome back to Suncoast Credit Union Field. Tonight's game is brought to you by Tampa General Hospital. Other hospitals practice medicine. We define it. Josh Appel, former collegiate soccer player Jade Barquette with you. And Jade, let's take a look at tonight's starting 11s. Changes for both sides, particularly in goal. Let's start with Tampa Bay Sun.
Tampa Bay looking for that cohesiveness on the pitch. This is only their second game of the season. Denise Schulte-Brown telling us she's trying to play around with lineups. She told us we were going to see some new faces in here. Lots of changes for the Tampa Bay Sun, trying to figure out how they can get that first win, especially here at home.
A handful of changes for Denise Schulte-Brown. Interested to see Isabella Kresch, the Austrian, part of the Austrian national team, getting the start in goal tonight for the home side. How about for Stacey Balaam and Sporting JAX? They also make a change in goal and a couple of tweaks as well.
More of the same lineup here for Sporting JAX. Only one true change on the field, and then again that goalkeeper change. She, on the other hand, is looking to find some cohesion with the same starting lineup, trying to communication styles and earning that trust on the field with her team, knowing that the more these players play together, the better the outcome will be.
Jamie Gerstenberg getting the start in goal tonight. Big Ten Goalkeeper of the Year at Indiana in 2023. Tough task tonight for Sporting Club Jacksonville. They've got 14 rookies on this roster, 7 players with professional experience, and they're walking into a place where not many have come out with a W in Tampa Bay Sun's history to this point, as we highlighted in the open. Tampa Bay donning the darker blue kits with the gold numbers. There's Carly Jamona. She scored the lone goal for Tampa Bay Sun last week. Sporting JAX in the white and baby blue shorts. Great crowd on hand at Suncoast Credit Union Field. So glad to bring this one to you tonight. The first of what will be many between these two clubs. And we're underway from Tampa Bay. Rachel Sweat is our referee tonight. Both these teams coming off of losses in their opener. Tampa Bay remains winless against Brooklyn after the loss last week at Maimonides Park. In fact, that was Brooklyn's first win in 8 tries at their home site in Brooklyn. Denise Schulte-Brown said, look, for some reason we just can't figure them out. They have been our nemesis. And there are a lot of factors. You know, you go up to Brooklyn, it's not an easy place to play. It's a long day, long flight. The stadium is about 90 minutes away from where the team stays.
Coach was telling us that she didn't get to train on the pitch before, her team didn't get to train on the pitch before the game had started because of the distance, and the game was such a windy one. I mean, we saw it from calling it. It was just so windy, and the ball was not playing as it probably normally would, especially when you haven't been able to train on the field. She said, though, excuses aside, we just didn't compete physically and battle where we needed to. And Brooklyn, again, just a team that they have not been able to figure out. They're very new as well, new coaching staff and a ton of new players, and that can also play a factor in trying to figure out a team, especially in that first game of the season.
Denise Schulte-Brown said that they didn't battle well enough for first and second balls, which really is something that they don't really have to do all that often because they love to dictate the tempo. They keep the ball a lot, but they started going long and didn't match that the intensity that's needed when you play that style.
Especially when you're used to keeping possession, you have to go long and more direct earlier in the game. It's going to change your mindset, and having to get all 11 players on that same mindset is hard when you're trying to figure out a team that's pressing you as much as Brooklyn was.
A couple of former Brooklyn players going at it, both wearing 24, Mackenzie Pluck and Grace Philpotts. This one swung into the area, but nobody home in dark blue, and Pennick, who scored the goal for Sporting JAX last week, is off and running. Maddie Kemp slides it forward. Pennick again. It's last off of Tampa Bay. Make that last off of Jacksonville, so it's out for a Tampa Bay throw.
You mentioned former teammates at Brooklyn. They're also former teammates at Duke. Mackenzie Pluck for Tampa and Sophie Jones playing at Duke together. And then we mentioned a little bit at the top, former teammates and coach USF Georgia Brown playing for Denise Schulte-Brown, and then Vivian Bissett, also a USF alum.
It was really cool hearing Denise Schulte-Brown talk about Georgia. As off the turnover, here comes Jacksonville. Contact in the area, but that's let go. Sabrina McNeil, the former member of Fort Lauderdale United, with a physical defensive play. And then more physicality, nearly forced the turnover. And some trouble with it. Now Sporting JAX has to reset. Battle for it along that touch line. And it's out for a throw to Tampa Bay once again. Let's take one more look, Jade. This no call inside the box. What do you think?
I like the no call. It was close, though. I think Tampa just getting let off the hook there a little bit. But these two teams battling it out early in this game. Tampa Bay wanting to be the aggressors, and they want to swarm the ball to try to get it back. That was just some aggressive defense in the box, trying to just make sure that the pressure is put on immediately. I do like the no call from the ref, making it seem like these two teams are going to be able to play a little bit.
A lot of player movement in the offseason leading into last weekend and the opening of the 25-26 Gamebridge Super League season. Tampa Bay returns a lot of their veterans from last year's championship winning side, but one glaring departure, we'll get to that in a moment, as Sydney Nasello, the MVP of last year's championship game. McNeil gets it back. Sabrina McNeil on the end line. Cleared away. And Sporting JAX are away with it, trying to move in transition. Laid ahead, it's a good ball, but it's able to be cut off.
You mentioned Tampa returning that core group of players. Denise Schulte-Brown was excited about that, knowing that last season they started without that core group, trying to add players as this season was beginning. But now returning with that core group, she had thought it was going to help her out a little bit more. That it would be a good call by the ref. They're going to be called a foul every time. But she saw that she was returning that core group, excited about the fact that they knew each other, knew the style of play that they wanted to play. And then coming out against that Brooklyn game, just unfortunate in the way they weren't really connecting off and on the ball.
Cecilia Flew, the only one of that core that really isn't back this year. Obviously, she was a huge part of the championship winning side last year, scored the game-winning goal in the championship against Fort Lauderdale in extra time. Carly Jamona, Sydney Nasello, Mackenzie Pluck. I mean, there are plenty of players here that can step up in her place. They're without Tosh Flint tonight. She's out with an injury. Part of the reason why we saw so many changes from Denise Schulte-Brown is just because of the taxing effort that it took in Brooklyn last week.
Yeah, when we talked to her earlier this week, she said that she would be plugging in different players. We know that she's trying to figure out that starting lineup and how her team's going to mesh together, but she didn't see that shock to the body of her players that was going to be taken after that game with Brooklyn. She said that her team just needing some soft tissue issues and working those out throughout the week, and players are going to pick up bumps and bruises as the season goes on. Maybe not expecting it that early in this season so far after that first game, but lots of travel, not being able to practice, and then playing again. They were playing on a baseball field, so you never know how that is going to affect the players' bodies.
Do have a distinct home field advantage here, although Mackenzie Pluck just lost the ball. Gives it away to Sporting JAX, but they hand it right back. Mackenzie Pluck looking for a bounce-back performance tonight. Didn't have the effort she wanted. I shouldn't say that. Didn't have the game she wanted. The effort was there. Didn't have the game she wanted against Brooklyn, her former side, last week. Denise Schulte-Brown says that she's going to be such a great fit for this group this year. Mackenzie Pluck came in the preseason with about 2 weeks to go, won the starting spot at midfielder. And Denise Schulte-Brown talked about how difficult that is on the surface, and then you get on to the fact that she's doing that on a championship team. Very impressive, and the Duke alum is figuring to be a big part of what Denise Schulte-Brown is trying to accomplish here in year two. This one sent toward goal, lands on top, and it's out for a goal kick.
Coach also told us that Pluck and her share similar personalities, so it's easier to connect with a player and figure out how a player ticks when your personalities are similar. She said she's the first to admit and take accountability for just not playing her best in that game against Brooklyn. There's a lot of factors that could have gone into that, playing against your old club in a similar city and all the emotions that can go into it as well. But like you mentioned, just earning that starting spot in those 2 weeks of preseason is a tall task. And Mackenzie Pluck, such a pro, coming in here and earning the respect of her coaches and also her teammates.
Tampa Bay has been giving the ball away a lot in these first 8+ minutes. Can't imagine that Denise Schulte-Brown will be too happy about that.
Not at all, and she's a possession-style coach. She wants to build through the thirds and not have to play that direct ball. She wants to try to keep the ball as much as possible. Jax on the other side doing a fantastic job of squeezing the space, and then when they get the ball, trying to exploit the areas that Tampa is leaving open.
Well, it was so interesting when we talked to Stacey Balaam, who had a decorated career in college. Get to it in a moment. As Listro plays it ahead, it rolls all the way to Jamie Gerstenberg. But Stacey Balaam told us that despite the team being young, despite it being early in the season, she really feels like the identity of this team is starting to come together, which I don't know if surprising is the right word for it, but you figure it might take a little bit longer for a team that is so young like Sporting JAX, that are a new club, but they seem to have figured out who they are.
Absolutely, and it's just difficult when their preseason matches were also canceled. So that first game against DC Power was the first competition that this team had together. And it showed a lot of how they wanted to play, the resiliency in the way that they battled and the possession style that they wanted as well. And Stacey Balaam mentioned to us that she just wants to focus on her team, trying to figure out these players and how they mesh together. And she attributed a lot of that to that core group that she has on the field and those leaders, who I'm sure we'll talk about as this match progresses. But this team is just showing a lot of fire and a lot of potential in this season, wanting to take advantage of the chances that they have in front of goal to capitalize that, and she feels like that will be the difference maker for them.
Impressive staff that she's put together after sporting director Mark Warburton hired her. It's so cool to see how all in this Sporting JAX club is on making this team and this club a winner and bringing Jacksonville a women's professional sports team that they can be proud of. It's the first ever professional women's sports team in the city of Jacksonville. And you know, when you make a hire like Mark Warburton for sporting director, who has managerial experience across the pond in England with some pretty big name clubs, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Queen's Park Ranger, was an assistant at West Ham, you know that the vision at the top is going to trickle down and it's going to breed a healthy environment.
Absolutely, and it's a domino effect of what this league wants. It's the expansion of women's sports, and it's the expansion of soccer all across the country. And in Florida, there's so much talent to breed, and these players are coming from all over the place, and not just the city that their team is from. But Sporting JAX is just showing so much potential in how they want to expand the game of soccer and just show that women in sports are all across the country. And for the Gamebridge Super League, this is just an amazing way to bring in more talent, bring in more experience, and just prove that this level in this league is something here to stay.
Jilly Shimkin in the corner. That's out for a Tampa throw. 12 different states represented on this Sporting JAX roster, 5 international players, and 5 from the state of Florida. That's most of anywhere. And you know, obviously we saw last year Fort Lauderdale and Tampa Bay match up in the final. Now you add Jacksonville to the mix, and you've got a budding competition between these 3 clubs for state supremacy. I know that there's been some encouragement to the fans to try and come up with a name for the rivalries and the derby between the 3 teams. Exciting times for women's professional soccer in the state of Florida. And the standard's been set by Fort Lauderdale and Tampa Bay, making it all the way to the final last year. Sporting JAX, they want to meet that standard as well.
Absolutely, and they can see it in the way that they press, in the way that Stacey Balaam's team comes to practice every day. She says they come with discipline, energy, and excitement for learning new things and soaking up the information that she's still trying to instill in them. And we talked to both of these coaches and the rivalry that could come as this league and season progresses. They both just have so much respect for one another, and there's another female coach in Stacey Balaam, as you see right here in this league, and Denise Schulte-Brown, a full proponent of just bringing women, supporting other women, especially when it comes to the professional soccer world.
Just got to look, as we told you, at Stacey Balaam. The last 2 seasons as an assistant coach at Vanderbilt, was in charge of the offense and the attack there. He had a top 10 scoring season in program history and made it all the way to the Sweet 16. Here comes Tampa Bay Sun trying to threaten. That's put all the way across goal and a race for it into the corner. Nearly won by Tampa Bay.
Sydney Nacello just driving down that far side, doing what she does best and beating players 1v1. And then that cross coming in was a great one, but Carly Jamona was just inside of it a little bit, and there was no one on that trailing run in the back post to slot it home.
Jamona, the Pepperdine alum, had the game-winning goal in the semis last year. How about this? Her dog's name is Shark.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like dogs with
Other animal names?
yes, it's so much better.
Bear, tiger, shark.
You give them those nicknames either way.
Of course. Here's Meg Hughes for Sporting JAX. First time they've really threatened. This one sails high above goal. Decent opportunity there. But no need for Isabella Kresh to make a play on it, but good job by Hughes to set this up.
Absolutely, and you can see JAX being patient on top of the box, and then Huerta not being able to get her hips around that one and slot it home.
Ashlyn Puerta, the 18-year-old, played 1 season at Florida State, decided she didn't want to play in college anymore, wanted to turn pro, and this coaching staff absolutely raves about her. Last week had a couple of shots, led the team in tackles, one as well. She's a huge talent with a high soccer level IQ, but Stacey Balaam said sometimes the staff has to remind themselves how young she is. They're super excited about her potential. Maddie Kemp. This is Pennick. Her shot blocked. Tampa Bay Sun can take over. Here's Listro wearing the captain's armband. Listro, one of the handful of players in this game that competed for Denise Schulte-Brown in college at the University of South Florida. He's had a fantastic run with the Bulls here in Tampa. Took on this new challenge with Tampa Bay Sun, and really not possible to have a better debut season. We're taking home the league title in front of their home fans.
And in front of a town that knows her so well. I mean, she was the coach for the Bulls for such a long time and leading them to championships in the American Athletic Conference, and such a historic legacy that she left there. And then coming to Tampa and the first inaugural season, winning the championship in front of home crowd fans, it was just amazing for her. And she said that she actually got to celebrate with her family, her daughter and her son. This one shoved out of bounds.
Into the LED board. That did not look like it was fun.
Her family, who's all over the country, her son's playing in Europe and her daughter playing domestically in college here in the States. And then obviously her husband
replaced her as the head coach at USF.
So the Bulls are still in good hands, but she got to celebrate that victory with her whole family. And she said that was probably the best part of the whole celebration, is having the core group of her life back together to celebrate that moment.
The city of Tampa really embraces all of their professional teams across the board. The teams at USF, the Lightning, the Bucks, the Rays, you can add Tampa Bay and the Rowdies as well to that list. It's such a cool thing to witness just how closely and tight-knit all the organizations up in the Bay are. Sporting JAX trying to deliver a dose of the medicine they took last week in their home opener. Tampa Bay in theirs. A A foul here. Puerto wants to get it started quickly, but Rachel Sweat is having none of that.
Puerto recognizing that Tampa was not set for that set piece, trying to go quickly there, but the referee will call her back. And again, we've seen in this game very tough fouls, gritty work from both sides, wanting to win the ball back. Sporting JAX going to take this set piece and see if they can get any action going in the box.
Sophia Bowman to put it in play. Bowman towards goal and over everybody and out for a goal kick. What have you made of the first almost 20 minutes of this match?
Very back and forth. You see that both of these teams are trying to win possession. They want to have the ball at their feet. On the opposite side of that, they're both doing a very good job of winning it back when they don't have it. Sporting JAX using the entire field. Tampa trying to look through the middle, and with possession, both trying to build out. It's an interesting battle, and like Denise Schulte-Brown told us, it's going to be a chess match between these two teams.
Given away, dangerous opportunity. Nearly for Sporting JAX. Took a bad bounce for them though. They're right back on it. Cross was blocked. Well done, good positioning by Brooke Hendricks in her second season with Tampa Bay Sun. No shots yet for Tampa Bay. One shot attempt that Sporting JAX has been credited with, but neither team has gotten one on goal. Possession 50-50 at the moment. Taken away by Nacello. Weaving through, she was able to get by Sophie Jones, the captain for Sporting JAX. Now plays it over the top for Jamona. Jamona trying to get there first. She's unable to. It's cleared away by Georgia Brown. A couple of USF Bulls going at it there.
Carly Jamona just stretching the back line of JAX. Sitting Nacello doing a great job of recognizing the run from Jamona from the midfield and trying to slip her in. Brown doing a great job of defending her and keeping her wide, clearing that one out for a throw.
And it was, like we said earlier, it was so cool to see how and hear how Denise Schulte-Brown talked about Georgia Brown, their relationship. Georgia Brown, such a promising player. Last week was her professional debut. Turns 23 tomorrow, so a happy early birthday to Georgia Brown. Denise Schulte-Brown really tried hard to get here in a Tampa Bay Sun uniform. She's still happy for Georgia, loves that she's playing for Stacey Balaam. Hendricks has some trouble with that, but we'll let it roll out for a goal kick.
I asked Coach when was the last time her and Georgia did get to speak. She said, I actually called her last week and just asked her how she was doing and if she was happy. Georgia stating that she was living her best life and loving it at Sporting JAX and being able to just be herself and play in that starting role. Like you said, she was in high demand coming out of college and wanting to be on every team, it seemed, every team wanting her, and just such a promising young player. Happy early birthday to her, and what a great birthday present it would be to win this game and maybe be your former coach.
Tall task against a team that was a league best 10-2-4 at home last season at Suncoast Credit Union Field. That includes the postseason. They had a +11 goal differential, outscoring their opponents 23-12. Excellent in the spring, just 2 losses in 15 games. Finished second in the league, just a couple of points off the pace of Carolina. And we have our first corner kick of the night, brought to you by the Baldwin Group. The Baldwin Group is the proud presenting sponsor of the Tampa Bay Sun corner kicks. Protect what's possible. Kenzie Pluck, who played just shy of 2,000 minutes last year for Brooklyn, will send it in. The in-swinger into a sea of bodies. Never got towards goal. Races on for it. Philpotts was fouled. It's Grace Philpotts, 22 years old. University of Kentucky alum, played in 6 games for Brooklyn last year. Good support from her teammates. Listro on it for Tampa Bay. Listro again. That pass off target looking for Jamona. Pluck couldn't handle it. Now it's Sydney Nasello. Nasello curls it in. And Gerstenberg rises and nabs it. German Jamie Gerstenberg. 30 clean sheets in 67 starts at Indiana. I would say clean sheets in about half your outings. Pretty good.
Very good.
Pretty good. Sporting JAX trying to answer now. Maddie Kemp. McNeil took it away from her. McNeil said this offseason, this is not an actual quote, more figurative. If you can't beat them, join them. Coming from Fort Lauderdale, a team that Tampa Bay beat in the final last year. Look at some of the keys to how Tampa Bay was able to do it. Second in the league in goals scored, second in the league in fewest goals allowed. And you look at that back line, of course, defending is a team thing, right? It starts with the players up top and obviously filters down to the back line of the goalkeeper. But you look at that core on the back line for Tampa Bay, Brooke Hendricks, Vivian Bissett, Dory Haugen. You add Sabrina McNeil to that. Emerson Elgin added to the group this year on loan from Boston Legacy. National champion with the Tar Heels of North Carolina. It's a really good group. And then you think, wow, they tried to add Georgia Brown. You can see why Sporting JAX wanted to have her there. Anchor their back line.
Sporting JAX saying, you're not grabbing this one, too. That back line for Tampa is just so good, and they work so well together, and you need that feng shui as a back line. When you are in these tough seasons, as the season goes on, making sure the players are staying healthy is so important. There's another hard collision on the far side.
Tampa Bay very physical. They're still down for Sporting JAX. Tampa Bay conceded the most fouls in the league last season. They are physical with a capital P. Let's take one more look at what happened.
Players just trying to go 1v1. Unfortunate bump into one another. Momentum seemed like it was just going forward.
That was Julia Lester, the Tampa, Florida native who played her collegiate soccer at Florida with her assistant coach here with Jacksonville, Alan Kirkup. He was at Florida from 2006 to 2021 as an assistant coach, also played for Manchester United in the mid-70s. Lester in her homecoming with a physical welcome on that collision.
Saying, hello, we're here.
Yep.
Stop sign.
Lester with almost 40 games of NWSL experience as well. So again, you can see how these teams are trying to get built from the back. You always hear coaches say they'd much rather figure out the attack later on, with make sure they have that defending figured out first.
Absolutely. You want to try to implement things as the season progresses. That preseason is so quick and it's so tight to throw all the information that you want from your team, how you want to defend, how you want to possess, do you want to play more direct, what styles of play, and what systems do you go with. It's things that you grow as you go into this season, and to have that defensive core for Tampa, and then to know how the identity of how you want to defend for Jacksonville is so important. And something that Coach Balaam wants to learn from each game is just those little lessons of how we can grow and how they can get better. So when they're focusing on themselves, they know that they're going to be 1% better into that next match.
Still no shot attempts for Tampa Bay Sun. 27 minutes tonight. And neither team with a shot on goal yet.
A little bit of miscommunication there in the back by that core back line of Tampa. JAX putting the pressure on them, trying to disrupt their decision making.
Haugen for Nasello. Sydney Nasello, MVP of the final. Trying to squeak it through to Haugen, and they weren't on the same page. You can see Nasello's frustration at the bottom of your screen. Is it something that Jacksonville is doing in the first half hour here that's throwing Tampa Bay off, or is just Tampa Bay on their own is not on the same page?
Well, in that instance right there, Tampa Bay just wasn't on.
Giveaway, Sidney Nacello on it, and then is brought down from behind, and a free kick opportunity coming for Tampa Bay as Hughes committed the foul.
They just weren't on the same page in that last run of play. Sidney Nacello still on the ground here, but picks this ball up beautifully and then just gets tripped up from behind. A dangerous spot for a foul to be committed in. But Sidney Nacello's everywhere on this field so far. She's been trying to slip balls in over the top and then through to Haugen on that last bout of possession.
So free kick opportunity, second set piece coming of the first half for Tampa Bay. Mackenzie Pluck, known for her tenacity and her leadership. The league in duels won last year, will get this service in. Her only goal last season, by the way, came against Tampa Bay Sun. Overlooking the water, and the scoreboard, a beautiful backdrop here at Suncoast Credit Union Field, even at night. Pluck gets the go-ahead. Cleared away, dealt with well by Sporting JAX. Comes all the way back for Isabella Kresch, the Austrian. Played for Roma for the last 2 seasons. There have been some impressive acquisitions all across Gamebridge Super League in the offseason. Flag was up here for offside.
You see Tampa going long there. Maybe something that they're starting to do as Jacksonville continues to put the pressure on their back line.
Gerstenberg. Hughes to throw in. First ever meeting between Tampa Bay Sun and Sporting JAX. Defending champions against the expansion side. It's turned over, and Sporting JAX trying to put one through. And the first shot on goal is handled by Isabella Kresch. Calm, cool, collected on her first save.
JAX doing a great job of being patient, and then Puerta just tossing this one away, playing 1-2 around the defenders to get this shot off. JAX very good off of the transition and creating those opportunities, something that Tampa's going to need to be on the lookout for when they just create those chances for them to give the ball away.
Addie Kemp with the shot attempt, and now Sporting JAX will have their first corner of the match. Kemp was a top 5 scorer in the country coming out of high school. Finished her collegiate career as a grad student at the University of Kentucky. Phil Potts curls it in, punched away. Took a good bounce for Tampa Bay, and they're able to clear.
And what a service by Phil Potts, swinging that one inside. Almost looked like it was going to go in off that initial cross.
Select is the official match ball supplier of the Gamebridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Bay still in search of their first shot on goal, and this deflection just rolls wide. That was nearly a catastrophic mistake for Sporting JAX. Fortunately for them, it is just a corner. That was Jamona applying the pressure.
Jamona doing what you need as your 9. We've talked about the defense starting up top. She's doing the job, putting that pressure, and then JAX just misunderstanding the level of pressure she was putting on her, and Tampa's going to have an opportunity here at goal.
In swinging corner towards the near post, flicked away. Comes right back out. Cross, the header, just over the bar. Best opportunity by far tonight for Tampa Bay.
That secondary service coming in and then just really unmarked in the box. Not a lot of pressure put on, a free header.
Provenzano had the chance. How about her professional soccer career to this point? As a rookie in NWSL, part of the Portland Thorns, team that won the title that year. And then she signs with Tampa for the spring season last year and wins a title here with Tampa Bay Sun.
That's when you know, is it me? Is it me?
It's that winning pedigree.
Championship mentality that Denise Schulte-Brown instills into, and wants out of all of her players and instills in them when they do come to her team.
Jamona offside.
Jack's doing a really good job right now of evading this press by Tampa Bay. They're being very patient. You see them switch the ball from all the way the opposite side of the field.
Sophie Jones, the captain. Pennick scored the goal last week in the 7th minute, fastest goal in league history. Of course, the first in club history for Sporting JAX. Jamona forced the turnover. She's got Nacello with her, trying to lead it for Nacello. Shielded off for a moment by Kenton. Battling now in the corner. Those two go to the turf. And the foul is called on Nacello.
That's just two players doing their job there. Nacello trying to be disruptive as she can, and then when you're just trying to shield the ball out, you maybe have to go to ground to just keep that forward away from the ball. And Sporting JAX right now holding their own against the defending champions.
Through everybody and all the way down to Kresh. Sydney Schneider started the first match last week against Brooklyn for Tampa Bay Sun. Both goals they conceded were in the second half, in the 56th and the 72nd minute, as Pluck was charging forward and Gerstenberg was aggressive out of her line, off her line I should say, and she cleared it away for a Tampa Bay throw.
Both keepers have been very active off of their line, playing higher, trying to get into the possession part of the game.
Still no shots on target yet for Tampa Bay. Is this the moment? Jamona. McNeil put it wide. Nacello. Cross. Touched over the bar, and it will be a corner presented by the Baldwin Group, the proud presenting sponsor of the Tampa Bay Sun Corner Kicks. Protect what's possible.
As we grow into this game, you've seen Tampa be more decisive with their service. This one, again, crossed into the box, just having to be pushed over the net. Nobody really threatening for Tampa in the box. One runner, maybe two. Getting all of their opportunities at goal, mostly off set pieces for Tampa in this first half.
Here comes the corner, back post, headed wide, and out for a goal kick.
You can see Tampa starting to use what they can to attack JAX. Getting good looks at goal with 2 headers now off of corner kicks. Just none on frame yet so far.
Puerta. Now long over the top, but again, nobody home in white, and it's easily handled by Kresh.
JAX doing a good job of building out from their back line through the midfield third. Sophie Jones in the midfield just commanding that presence of the ball, wanting it around and on her foot. Just can't find that last connection from the midfield to the front line.
Taken away very easily there by Sporting JAX. Throw in coming, quickly in. Hughes to Kemp. Now it's Puerta. She's been active in this first half. A lot of space. The shot blocked though. Still alive for Sporting JAX. And the shot blocked by McNeil. She got to the spot and it's out for a corner. Pennick nearly played it in for a goal. Good defending there at the end. Saw the danger and dealt with it.
Puerta with that initial shot, it is deflected off Bizet, but Pennick in the box just flicking it on, being so unselfish to Kemp, who was almost there for the cleanup, just mishits it a little bit. But JAX showing that finesse, showing the patience from the buildup. They used that entire space of the pitch to slowly bring the ball up the field, not trying to force the issue, and spread out this Tampa team to get those looks on goal.
Third corner of the night for Sporting JAX. Curled in. Headed away for the moment by Tampa. Flicked back towards goal on one hop and harmlessly handled by Kresh. Nacello. McNeil. Deflected out. McNeil, 17 games, 15 starts last season for Fort Lauderdale. Native of Canada. Does provide somewhat of an offensive threat. Created 15 chances, scored a goal a season ago. Nacello battling in the corner. Nacello wins it. Nacello. City Nacello back to her left. Never got through. Don't know if that was indecisiveness or if Sporting JAX was able to cut down on the angles. But a promising start for Nacello kind of fizzled out.
Nacello had her head up in the box trying to pick out players. Again, there was only 2 or 3 runners in the box, and they were delayed after she was cutting around the JAX defenders who were swarming her on that play. Tampa a little bit slow in their movement off the ball, and if they picked that up, it would be a lot more difficult for JAX to defend them, especially in the box.
Haugen tried to play it in. Instead, Sporting JAX the other way. Puerta creating space for herself. Ashlyn Puerta behind Pennick. And Tampa Bay survives that threat.
That ball just going against the momentum of Pennick's run. She tried to stop it with that left foot, but then just too much momentum pushing her forward from her long sprint up the field. Stops that momentum from going anywhere for JAX.
Time winding down in this first half. XG right now favoring Sporting JAX. It is minuscule. It is 0.27 to 0.05. Tampa Bay last week had an XG of 1.69, so they had their opportunities, obviously scored the one late. But Sporting JAX have done a very nice job defensively tonight in the first half in a very difficult environment.
Absolutely, especially when you come into a new stadium in front of fans that are historically loud, in your face, very high energy, intensity. You have to match that as the road team, as the away team, especially in a game where you're still trying to figure out your own teammates and how you guys play together. So commending JAX in this first half for putting the pressure on Tampa and making them have to work for it.
This is the direction of Jamona, but it's cleared away by Sporting JAX. Long ball. Race is on. Listro battling, but lost out by Sporting JAX, so a throw. Jilly Shimkin played collegiately at Penn State in Texas. Making her first start tonight. Pluck. Hendricks moves it along. It's McNeil. Jamona on the turn. She goes down. Play rolls on. Much to the chagrin of Tampa Bay.
The fourth official has confirmed 2 minutes of stoppage time.
You see 2 minutes of added time here in the first half. Pluck couldn't handle that throw. Cleared out by Sporting JAX. No shots on target in the first half for Tampa Bay Sun in their home opener. Just one between the two teams. Haugen trying to win the race. And again, dangerously, Gerstenberg came out to meet it.
Gerstenberg being the aggressor there for this JAX side, and you mentioned the shots that have not been taken for Tampa, something that Denise Schulte-Brown is going to address with her team at halftime. They're getting the looks and the opportunities with the crosses coming in. Just nobody in the box to finish those chances.
We've seen both goalkeepers play aggressively off their lines. More so Jamie Gerstenberg at times. You were a center back when you played. In an instance like the last one we saw, how important is the communication there from the keeper? Because obviously if she doesn't get there first, that's a really easy opportunity, or a good opportunity, I should say, for Tampa Bay.
It's so important. It's the most important thing, especially when your goalkeeper's charging out. You usually let her have it. It's their box at the end of the day, and whatever they say goes. But it's so important to have that communication as we go into the second half. Gerstenberg just wanting to keep that up with her back line. It's proving to be looking well so far.
Rachel Sweat blows the whistle for halftime. 0-0 after 45 minutes. Jade, what do you make of the first half?
It's a battle between these two teams. Possession-oriented Tampa looking a little bit shaken as they're not able to connect through the lines. JAX doing a very good job of maintaining possession and off the transition going to goal.
We'll be joined by Jordan Listro in just a moment, but I think Jade, Sporting JAX has really acquitted themselves well, coming off of a disappointing loss in their first ever match as a club last week, coming on the road against the defending champs. Possession about even, but they've had the better opportunities.
Absolutely. They haven't had that rocket of a goal moment from Jade Pennick like they did in that first game. They're looking to just get more chances for themselves in that second half.
Joined now by Jordan Listro from Tampa Bay. And Jordan, not much going on in that first half. Seemed like towards the end you guys were starting to put it together in the attacking half of the field. How would you evaluate your side's first half?
Yeah, it's not good enough. Not good enough for me and not good enough from the whole squad. We need to keep possession and get on the same page.
How do you break down this defense of JAX?
I think we need to be patient in possession, but purposeful. Right now we're giving the ball away way too easily.
Short and to the point. Jordan Listro, thanks for your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
That's Jordan Listro of Tampa Bay Sun, their captain. 0-0 at the half here from Suncoast Credit Union Field. First ever meeting between these two clubs. Expansion versus the defending champions. Physical at times in the first half, but neither team able to find a breakthrough. Stick with us, plenty to come at halftime here from Tampa on Peacock.
Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Tampa General is the region's only academic health system and only Level 1 trauma center, which means we handle life-threatening injuries others can't. Our fellowship-trained surgeons specialize in trauma and work with experts from all areas of care to treat patients immediately. We handle the region's most trauma because we're uniquely built to save lives. Tampa General. Other hospitals practice medicine. We define it. When it comes to transplants, every organ wasted is a life not saved. But as the region's only academic health system, Tampa General is changing that. We're the global leader in using revolutionary technology that keeps donor organs functioning outside the body, so we can accept and recover more organs for more life-saving transplants, making us #1 in the nation. Tampa General. Other hospitals practice medicine. We define it. Why does academic medicine matter? Because at Tampa General, the best medicine starts with the best science. Like our cutting-edge research that helped develop computerized devices to treat epilepsy and Parkinson's, restoring normal brain function and ending tremors. That's the academic difference every day at the region's only academic health system. Tampa General. Other hospitals practice medicine. We define it.
Welcome back to Suncoast Credit Union Field in Tampa Bay. Gainbridge Super League action on Peacock. First ever meeting between the defending champions Tampa Bay and Sporting Club Jacksonville. Josh Appel, Jade Barquette with you as we take a look at news and notes around Gainbridge Super League. You might have mentioned me reference Tampa Bay's home field as Suncoast Credit Union Field. That's because Tampa Bay Sun and Suncoast Credit Union have teamed up to announce a naming rights partnership moving forward here in Tampa Bay. How about Brooklyn earning its first win at Maimonides Park, unfortunately for Tampa, at their expense last week. First time they've won there, Brooklyn had, since moving to the venue last spring. And we've talked about it all night. A first for Jacksonville. First ever match, first ever goal. The England native Jade Pennick, first ever goal for Sporting JAX last week. Took 7 minutes to do it. Fastest goal in league history.
So exciting for her to score that goal. Her coach telling she'd rather have won than score the goal, though.
How about DC Power? Another high-scoring night for them. They scored 3 last week against Jacksonville. They've got 2 tonight. They're at home against Spokane. They're in stoppage time right now, level at 2. Carolina Ascent won the regular season title last year. They're up 1-0 over Fort Lauderdale in the second half. Early goal for Dallas Trinity, 1-0 in the first 15 minutes over Brooklyn. Been a lot of scoring last week. Every match featured both teams scoring, Fort Lauderdale and Brooklyn. Still with goose eggs, of course, early for Brooklyn, and we're at half here, hoping that Tampa Bay and Sporting JAX can get on the score sheet in the second 45 minutes. We'll have stats and highlights from Suncoast Credit Union Field in moments. Stick with us right here on Peacock.
My man. Are you ready? Last song, Chapel Roan, H-O-T-T-O-G-O. Are you ready? Here we go.
H-O-T-T-O-G-O. You can take me out to go.
We're 5 for 5 tonight, which means each one of you getting 2 tickets to a Tampa Bay Sun home game here. You guys all crushed it. You're all winners tonight. How about a round of applause? These guys are all winners in our eyes. They're winners in your eyes. Great job, guys. You are all winners here tonight.
Remember, fans, all Tampa Bay Sun corner kicks are powered by the Baldwin Group. Special thanks to the Baldwin Group for their support of the Tampa Bay Sun. Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa is the proud entertainment partner of the Tampa Bay Sun. Anyone can win at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa.
I didn't expect that. All Gainbridge Super League matches are streaming exclusively on Peacock.
What, just to run comms or keep the eyes? Just literally just to check shading and make sure shading's good for now. Can I run to the bathroom first?
I'm thinking it's just we're Irish up so hot, like our depth of field is so shallow.
No, but also the lights are terrible.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. If they, yeah, I know. Okay. I'm gonna go up and make sure you're good, which you should be fine. But yeah, I think it's literally because of how dark it is.
Like my depth of field is like it's like a cinema lens.
Yeah.
Like so when they run across the field and I'm wide, there's no way to keep it up.
Yeah, and however in that corner it's so dark. Yeah. I mean,
we are here for you and your family and your time.
Welcome back to Suncoast Credit Union Field at the half, 0-0 between Tampa Bay and Sporting JAX. Josh Appel, Jade Barquette with you as we take a look at our first half highlights here in Tampa. Not much doing for both sides, but Did have a couple of opportunities. Here was Ashlyn Puerto in an active first half.
Very good, just deceptive, getting through the defensive line for Tampa. She doesn't find a way to get it on goal, just sailing over the crossbar, doing a good job with her left foot, swivel her hips around and shoot that one.
31st minute we go. After a giveaway by Tampa, we heard Jordan Listro talk about Tampa Bay needing to be better taking care of the ball. This is the only shot on goal in the first half. It came off the leg of Maddie Kemp.
And it came off the transition for JAX, picking that one off and then just going straight at goal.
A couple of moments later, it was Tampa Bay really getting their first threat of the night. Gabby Provenzano on the cross, just a couple of feet over the bar.
And almost a free header in the box, doing a good job of trying to get that one on target. And here we go, Tampa once again. Later on in this first half, they seem to just work into this half as it came on. Some work on the side to get this ball swung in the box. It's just not enough to put anything across the goal line.
Possession about even in that first half. Shot attempts 4-2 in favor of Sporting JAX, but just one on target. It was the one right into the chest from Maddie Kemp. The half-hour mark in that first half. So we'll see if Tampa Bay can extend their streak of scoring to 18 games in a row and 20 overall if you include the postseason. They haven't threatened all that much in this first half.
Both teams have had opportunities on those set pieces, just haven't been able to capitalize and put one away.
We'll have second half kick in moments here from Suncoast Credit Union Field in the first ever meeting between expansion side Sporting JAX and Tampa Bay Sun, the defending Gamebridge Super League champions. Back right after this.
Right here. So you guys, if you want to be section 2, just stand over here a couple feet. LA, there you go. See, you're smart. She said I'm moving to section 2. All right, Soleil, section 2 is right here. DJ Sunshine, section 2. What are we working with, Soleil? Here we go. Watch me. Top 3. Dance the night away. Let's go, Soleil. Soleil dance party. Watch me. Who is fabulous here, Soleil? 15 seconds. Look at my guy right here. Look at my guy right here. Who wants to dance with Soleil? That's what's up. Hey, look at this. He's definitely got to get one. Final 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That is section 2. That was fabulous, Soleil. Nice work. All right. This is section 3 from right here to right here is section 3. Are you guys ready to get down with Soleil's dance party? All right, Soleil, section 3. Let's see what you got, Sunshine. Turn it up. Oh, little newly engaged Taylor Swift. There we go. It's gonna be tough, Soleil. They're working it here in section 3. They all want the prizes. Take it on. There's a lot of talent here in section 3. This is going to be tough, Soleil. Spirit Sparkle Squad, you guys got a tough job, section 3. All right. Sparkle Squad has found their top 3. Soleil, last but not least, it is going to be section 4. Not a lot of people here right now, which means you all have a good chance to win. Section 4, Soleil Dance Party. DJ Sunshine, hit it. And, oh, here we go. All the single ladies. Look at these 2 ladies right here. Oh, they're giving us the Beyonce dance. There you go. Hey, hey, hey. Go ahead, Soleil. Section 4. Oh, she's totally working it now. Sparkle Squad, you're going to have a tough one here. A little dance off with my cutie here. That is going to wrap it up. Soleil's dance party. Give yourselves a round of applause. You all got up tonight and worked the party. We love it. Thank you, Soleil. Look at this. Making future fans. We love to see it. Thank you, Soleil. As our son.
Welcome back to Suncoast Credit Union Field. Almost time to begin the second half. Who doesn't love a Surfside? Right on the water at Suncoast Credit Union Field, watching the defending champions take on Sporting JAX for the first time ever. 0-0 at the half. Josh Appel, Jade Barquette with you here in Tampa Bay. It is never too early to look at the standings. This is up to the minute if the results are final or if the game is in progress, how they would be if the results stayed that way. Dallas off to a good start. Got a win last week. As we showed you at halftime, they are up 1 at the moment. DC missed the playoffs last year. Won in their opener. Earned a result against Spokane in match number 2. But who do you look at on this list and think, all right, they've got a real shot this year to make some noise?
From covering the Brooklyn game last week, the way that they came out fiery and looking like they wanted to battle for one another, and just the few weeks of knowing and playing with one another, it was really exciting to watch. And as a fan of the game and as a former player, it was something that I would want to play for, that type of team. So I'm excited to see how they do the rest of the season. And you mentioned DC missing the playoffs last year, something that they're obviously thinking about coming into this season with a great start. These two teams right now sitting at 8th and 9th in the standings so far, wanting to battle out and bring something out of, build themselves out of that rut that they put them in that first game. A lot of potential with these two teams here too. We just haven't been able to see it yet so far in this young season.
I'm excited to see what Lexington ends up doing over the long term. Obviously such a difficult season last year, but they had Amina Ekic, who had 2 assists in the season opener against Fort Lauderdale. Second time she's done that in a single match, only player in league history to have multiple games, multiple assists. That is such a huge addition to Lexington, a side that gave up a lot of goals last year and really struggled to score. But they've revamped that roster a little bit. Amina Ekic is leading the way there. Annie McCain as well, joining forces. Allie Thornton in Dallas. A
lot of potential this year for movement as the season goes on. It's such a competitive league when teams can get hot at the right moments and that cohesiveness together can click, and they'll be off to the races.
Speaking of off to the races, that's what we are here in the second half between Jacksonville and Tampa Bay. First ever meeting. Just 1 shot on goal in the first half between the two sides. You heard Jordan Listro tell us they are not very happy with that first half performance here at home. Not good enough. We have to be way more purposeful and have care with possession.
And that's just using the ball for something than just keeping it. And what I mean by that is possession with a purpose. Not just passing it around the back and then going long when they don't have options. Continuing to move the ball around. Create those pockets of space in between jacks so that they can exploit them either out wide to Nacello or crosses like this.
Listro was looking in the direction of Mackenzie Pluck, who was making a run through the middle. It did deflect off of Sporting JAX, so it's out for a corner presented by the Baldwin Group. They sponsor all Tampa Bay Sun corner kicks. Protect what's possible. Pluck is trying to bounce back from last week's performance against her former side, Brooklyn. The in-swinger, the header in a sea of bodies. Cleared away. A lot of traffic there, hoping for a good bounce. I can only imagine what Denise Schulte-Brown's message was at halftime, but if you're Stacey Balaam, what would you be telling your team at half?
Happy with how the half went. I think she wants her team to be in possession. She wanted them to defend off transition moments, and they were doing that in the first half.
Here's Mackenzie Pluck trying to create room for herself. Lays it wide for Nacello. Nacello towards the end line, back to her left. Nacello! Save made, the rebound sitting there. Cleared out by Sporting JAX.
Nacello doing what she does best. Taking on players 1v1. JAX swarming her there in the box. Here she comes again.
Different kind of intensity we're seeing from Tampa Bay in the first few moments of the second half. Cross comes in towards Jamona. Sporting JAX was able to get to it first. was that chance for Tampa Bay a moment ago.
Nina Cello driving, cutting inside to try to get on that left foot. Teammates were in the box. JAX again doing a good job of holding their ground. Keeper having to make a save, but JAX holding strong. Tampa maybe getting fired up in that halftime speech, coming out looking completely different than they did in that first half.
Pluck for Jamona. She scored last week. Long range chance, but sent way high by Haugen. Some Sporting JAX fans who have made the trip to Tampa Bay. A lot of anticipation in the city of Jacksonville. And as you said earlier, they sold nearly 10,000 tickets for the first ever match last weekend, and unfortunately the weather had other ideas. But they've got a few home matches coming up. 3 of their first 4 are at home, so if you're watching and you've got a chance to go out to the next home match next weekend, go check out this Sporting JAX side. Here comes Jacksonville. It comes wide. Leicester through Puerta. Top of the box, sent in, and Sporting JAX breaks through first. Against the run of play in the second half, it's Meg Hughes. Hughes assisted on Pennick's goal last week, and this week she gets Sporting JAX on the board first against the defending champs.
Hughes, a proven goal scorer in college at Providence and Michigan State, just does what she can to put this one across the goal line. We'll take another look at it here. JAX again in the box, patient, moving it around the top, and then Hughes not even looking up, and then just that awkward bounce in the box allowed that one to slip past Tampa. And another thing that Coach Balaam wanted her team to focus on was being clinical in the box, finding different ways to score. Hughes doing a fantastic job by putting her team on the scoreboard any way possible.
Leicester gets credit with the assist. And now Tampa Bay, who had controlled the first few minutes, now finds itself down 1-0. To expansion side Sporting JAX at home. Jamona lost it. Clearance is corralled by Provenzano. Meg Hughes, the Michigan State alum. First assist in club history, now has the second goal in club history, and it was a huge one.
Such an impact player. She can assist and be selfless in that way and take the shot when needed, like she just did, and kind of took the Tampa Bay players off guard. It seemed like everybody froze in that moment, not knowing what to do, but here they are on the front foot again.
Tampa Bay Sun trying to answer, but this one whistles wide. That was Pluck, who tried the long-range chance.
Picking her head up, beating one player, trying to upgrade that shot, but couldn't get her hips around it all the way on that left foot. No problem for Gerstenberg, who has been active all night so far.
Grace Philpotts. Sporting JAX will try and protect this 1-0 lead here on the road. Again, this Tampa Bay Sun side, best team in the league at home last year, including the postseason. They were 10-2-4.
It's going to be interesting to see how Tampa responds to going down at home and starting off the second half very different than they did in the first, with lots more energy and taking the game to JAX. Sporting JAX, on the other hand, taking advantage of the opportunity that they have when they need, being clinical in the box, learning from their game last week where they didn't take advantage of those chances they had at goal, this time putting them away.
The referee has issued a yellow card card to Tampa Bay is number 20, Victoria Haugen. This comes in the
Dory Haugen is the first booking of the night. She picks up a yellow here in the 54th minute. How does Tampa Bay respond? They were unhappy, as you heard Jordan Listro. She spoke to us with their performance in the first half. They got off to a threatening start, but Jacksonville converted on their very first chance of the half. Now they lead 1-0. Played towards goal. But again, aggressive like she's been all night. Gerstenberg out to grab it on a hop. It was Shimkin who played that one in.
Jax right now just playing very simple soccer. They're finding the open man, not trying to think too much about where to play the ball next or who to go to. That person's already making that extra run.
Hughes, who has the goal, plays it towards Pennick, defended well and cleared away. It was so difficult as an expansion side to get off to a good start. Building a new roster, there are 14 rookies for Stacey Balaam and Sporting JAX, but they've got a really good leadership group as this is played in. Really flicked on, sent into the air by Bissett. Takes a big hop, still alive for Sporting JAX. Sophie Jones, the captain. Now Philpotts, back for Jones. Hughes, back to her right. Puerta. Comes wide, low cross, still alive for Sporting JAX. Pennick for Puerta, and her opportunity whistles wide.
JAX just being so clinical in and around the box, using their players. This one trying to get slipped behind the Tampa back line. Jade Pennick there lays the ball off for Puerta, just so selfless in the box, trying to see who has the best angle and filter their teammates.
Bowman. McNeil dispossesses her and gets the clear. Settles down for Paige Kenton. Puerta into the corner. Her pass deflected and out for a throw.
You can just see the difference in movement from JAX right now and their level of urgency. You can tell that they want to add more to the score sheet. They're on the front foot. They're playing ticky-tacky soccer and 1- and 2-touch passes around Tampa.
It definitely seemed like a confident bunch here in the second half, especially since that goal from Meg Hughes in the 50th minute. Brought up the leadership aspect of this young group for Sporting JAX. Of course, Sophie Jones is the captain. First in club history, has NWSL experience, also a Duke alum. Of course, Jade Pennick. Finally cleared away, but even with the veterans they have on the pitch, we get a foul here. You even look at a player like Parker Roberts, who was so excited to get back into the pro game, spent some time with Orlando Pride before stepping away. She came back, but unfortunately tore her ACL before the season. But Stacey Balaam said to us when we spoke to her this week that she's around the team all the time, providing that veteran leadership that maybe she can't contribute to it on the field. She's able to off the field, at least, as Tampa Bay prepares a couple of substitutions.
She's one of those players that you would like on the field. Again, circumstances that are out of their control will take her out this season. But then you have players like Georgia Brown stepping up and stepping in for this JAX team that have that responsibility on their shoulders. However, Coach Balaam said that she's ready and up for the task. She's such a pro mindset and carries herself in that way, very respectful of the game, a student of the game, and someone that they're very excited to have on the field. She's grown into that role that Parker Roberts was going to have. And then on the bench now for Roberts, just being that voice, being that leader, and someone that these players can look to help them and just allow them to grow from not just a coach's perspective, but as a teammate and a fellow player's perspective as well.
Be remiss if we didn't also mention Sophia Bowman in this conversation. Played every minute of every game when she was in college as a captain. She's durable, and she's the engine that drives the energy of this group day in and day out. So here are the substitutions for Tampa Bay. Gavi Provenzano comes out along with Jilly Shimkin, and in comes Sandrine Gaillard, the Swiss international, and Emma Gaines Ramos, who's on loan from Washington Spirit, made her pro debut last week. Approaching 1 hour gone by in this match. That's offside. The Gamebridge Super League season has officially begun. We're here in week 2. You can visit GamebridgeSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight into all things Super League. Josh Appel, Jade Barquette with you. About a half an hour to go. Can the defending champions Tampa Bay Sun find the equalizer? Or will Sporting JAX spoil the Tampa Bay home opener like they had theirs spoiled last week by DC? As the yellow comes out again, you saw the jersey pull.
JAX wanting them to play advantage there with the ball. The referee will bring that one back for a foul because of the tug on the jersey on Puerta.
Brooke Hendricks picks up the yellow.
Just a frustrating foul by Hendricks, getting beat and then knowing that she's running straight at goal and there's not a lot of cover and balance behind her. Professional foul, but again, a frustrating one for Jacksonville, who's been on the front foot this entire second half.
Kenton. Good takeaway. That's Emma Gaines Ramos just in, but Jacksonville able to get it back momentarily before Mackenzie plucks it away. Play on words there.
Very clever.
McNeil stepped up, took a bad hop on her, out for a throw-in for Sporting JAX, although Tampa Bay thought it was last off of Sporting JAX. Pennick.
You've seen Emma Gaines Ramos, that sub for Tampa, show that spark of energy that her team looks to be feeding off of here as she came on the pitch.
How have Sporting JAX how have they been able to take Carly Gimona pretty much out of this match? We have not really seen her create a lot of opportunities for herself. She has been defended really well.
They're just keeping her off of the ball and swarming her when she does get on it. They are a very compact back line for JAX, not allowing much through them. Carly tries to be deceptive around, but they're doing a good job of creating that wall.
Lester, who assisted on the Hughes goal, gives off for Puerta. Puerta nearly went down courtesy of McNeil. McNeil's got to be careful. And a point to the spot. Nearly committed the foul right before that. Didn't get away with it the second time. And it's a golden opportunity for Sporting JAX to expand their lead.
McNeil, like you said, got away with it the first time. Puerta, knowing the pressure that she's on her back, knowing that she can use her footwork to create a foul like that. Smart move by the young player in Puerta.
Tampa Bay conceded 2 penalties last season. It's Ashlyn Puerta who steps to the spot. First ever PK attempt in Sporting JAX history. Puerta against Isabella Kresh. Puerta, a long wait, the hesitation, and she rolls it in. 2-0 to Sporting JAX. They've scored twice in the opening 20 minutes of this second half, and they have quieted the home crowd here at Suncoast Credit Union Field.
Coach Balaam talking about the IQ of the young player of Puerta, knowing to commit that foul and sell it in the box, and then this class of a PK, rolling it home. Nothing that Kresh could do about it. She picks wrong anyways, but Puerta stamping her name in the history books for JAX, taking the first PK and scoring.
First career professional goal for Ashlyn Puerta. We told you earlier, has so much promise. High level IQ, trained with Gotham FC before coming to Sporting Club Jacksonville. Huge talent. So much so that at just 18 years old, the coaching staff has to remind themselves of just how young Puerta is, and now Sporting JAX in clear control with less than an hour to go, less than a half an hour to go. Tampa Bay has made a third substitution. Mackenzie Pluck out of the match, Hannah Keene into the match. What do you make of that change?
Well, Mackenzie Pluck not having her best game against Brooklyn, and today maybe just looking a little bit off as well. Denise Schulte-Brown wanting to get Keene in there to change things up in the middle of the park for her team. They just need that extra spark right now that they're not getting from the players that are on the field. Coach Denise Schulte-Brown wanting to spice it up as much as she can, moving players around, putting them in different positions. It would be interesting to see if they do start to go more direct in that style of play as this half goes on.
It's 2/3 of the midfield that started the match now out. Jordan Listro, the captain, the only one of the three in that 4-3-3 still in the match. This one towards goal, handled by Isabella Kresh. Jacksonville also making a substitution. Jessie Hunt replaces Maddie Kemp. So Hunt now on the pitch with Sophia Bowman. Those two both from Adena, Minnesota, and they went to elementary school at Cornelia Elementary in Adena, and here they are as professionals for Sporting JAX. Sporting JAX on the move again. They had a push from Tampa Bay in the first few minutes of the second half, but since then, it's been all for the away side. Puerta again turns and fires. It never got all the way through. And sent wide. It will be a corner.
JAX again showing how clinical they can be in the box. Coach Balaam telling us that they wanted to get creative when they're in that final third and not being so choreographed or cut and dry of how they wanted to attack. They wanted to show the personalities of their players when they're in and around the box and be unique in the way that they attack.
I think there was some confusion on who would take that corner, but they go short for Hunt. Now it's back for Puerta. And it sneaks through somehow. 3-0 to Sporting JAX. They are pouring it on in the second half, and it's a brace for Ashlyn Puerta. She's making history all over the place. First PK, and now the first brace in Sporting JAX history.
Again, a deceptive corner, movement of players. Tampa not tracking runs. Puerta taking this touch inside and then slots it home in between the entire back line of Tampa. Ashlyn Puerta getting her first professional goal and then her first professional brace in this game. Doing it so well and such confidence riding high right now for this JAX team.
It has unraveled quickly for Tampa Bay. 2 goals in 5 minutes for Ashlyn Puerta. That one off the post. Emma Gaines Ramos nearly had the quick answer, but it will take a lot more than just one for Tampa Bay. Second consecutive week They've given up multiple goals. 2 last week to Brooklyn, 3 here. It comes all the way across off the back post. Out for a corner. Presented by the Baldwin Group. Protect what's possible.
Tampa's not going to go away easily. We've mentioned that they have the best home record playing in this stadium. This is their first game at home this season. They're going to want to put something away and give this crowd something to cheer for right now as the time runs out. Sitting Nacello looking to make something happen for her team as she has been all night.
McNeil tried to flick it through, now the back heel. Sitting there, now it's cleared away. Gains Ramos, going wide, but she's cut off. That's another corner kick. Brought to you by the Baldwin Group. Protect what's possible.
JAX doing such a good job of defending in the box. The corner before this one, taking a little bit longer to clear it out. However, Tampa not really threatening that much in the box in the second half. Here they have another attempt. Let's see if they'll try to put this one in or...
To the traffic. And Tampa Bay finally cashes in. They get one back. It's been a flurry of goals here in the second half. That can jumpstart Tampa Bay, but they are still down 2 with 20 minutes left. They score off the corner.
And finally, they capitalize. Header from the back post. JAX trying to clear it away just a little bit high for them to clear out of the box, and then not defending on that back post for Tampa. They're going to want to get the ball back, not celebrate this one much, Josh. They have a game to play for here.
We'll see who gets credit with that one. Looked like it deflected. Sandrine Gaillard, the credit with the goal, her first with Tampa, and it comes here in the 70th minute.
Gaillard, a sub that was brought on by Denise Schulte-Brown to be that spark, be a game changer for her team. It's proving right now to be the good call for the coach. And here we have Tampa looking to continue this momentum.
Now the scoring streak at 18 in the regular season, 20 overall, including the postseason. Hard to shut this Tampa team out. I was just looking up from last season and Tampa Bay's home games. They did not concede more than 2 in any game at home, and they've given up 3 tonight. And that tied a season high of what they conceded in any game last year. They conceded more than 2 only 1 time last season.
This JAX team stirring up some drama for the Tampa Bay Sun, making them have to deal with adversity and show their identity of how they'll come out of this when they're playing in front of their home crowd.
Off the bench, onto the score sheet for Sandrine Gaillard, the Swiss international. Played in 3 UEFA Euros, the 2023 World Cup. Tampa Bay threatening again towards goal. Never got through. Played wide one more time. Cross in front, Jamona! 2 quick ones for Tampa Bay, and they are right back in it.
You can never count Tampa Bay out at home. Carly Jamona, the engine for this Tampa Bay Sun team, capitalizing again after Sydney Nacello does her magic on the wing. Her initial cross does not get through. Keane has to pass it back out to her, and then Nacello picking her head up, finding Jamona, who's inside of her defender, clinical, and slots this one through. Just has to redirect it with her foot. Jamona so dangerous in the box, and Tampa Bay can sniff this game now.
2 goals in a matter of 3 minutes, and the defending champions are right back in this match. Carly Jamona back-to-back games with a goal. Sydney Nacello, her first goal contribution of the season. She picks up the assist.
And what a connection those two have, both finding each other in that first game with Brooklyn as well. Jamona, again, so dangerous in the box. Her coach, Denise Schulte-Brown, telling us that she can score, however, with her head, left foot, right foot. This time she elects with her right foot inside the foot, just passing it right into the goal to pull her team closer to even. And we got a really good game here, Josh.
How can Sporting JAX settle down here after conceding 2 goals in a matter of minutes right after Sporting JAX scored a couple in a matter of 5 minutes?
It's executing that first pass. When they do maintain possession and hold the ball, they need to string together those passes to settle them down. That was their greatest superpower against Tampa in that first half and into the second half as well, spreading them out and using the entire space of the field to exploit the areas in and behind them. How they were getting those opportunities in the first half was just using one another, combining in the midfield and through the lines. They're going to need to do the same thing here to see if they can spread out Tampa and slow down their momentum.
We talked about it all throughout the first half and into the second half, just one combined shot on target until that second attempt from Sporting JAX from Hughes, the first goal of the game in the 50th minute. And starting from the 63rd minute to the 73rd, 2 goals apiece, 4 total in this game. It has been a tale of 2 halves here at Suncoast Credit Union Field.
Goals are contagious right now, and it's going to be interesting to see, especially after we have a break here. Both teams getting a chance to speak with one another, speak to their coaches, get some water, rehydrate themselves in this humidity of Florida here in August. It is fall, but it's not fall temperature-wise in Florida, but this is a great opportunity for both teams to settle down, go back to their game plan, and figure out how they want to both attack going into the last 15 minutes or so of this game.
Hot, humid, but right on the water. As you can see, I mean, it is like these players jumped into that water that surrounds this stadium here in Tampa Bay. Luckily, both sides are used to this. They both train in it. And it has been an incredible second half here from Suncoast Credit Union Field. It was 0-0 at the half. And now 3-2 to the expansion side, Sporting JAX over the defending champions on the road. They've got them on their heels.
I'm sure all these players would rather jump into the water behind the stadium than get in an ice path after this game.
Glistening water. Both still driving by, even at night here. Back underway after Leicester went down for a moment with cramps.
You see the little ways JAX is using time management of this game to their advantage. Ashlyn Puerta coming over to try to take that corner and then waiting for her back line and Leicester to walk up and take it. It's the little details that you're trying to use to your advantage in this game that's so close, and the momentum going back and forth.
Such a great learning experience in a game situation for such a young team in Sporting JAX as well. Here comes Hughes. She has one tonight. Taken off her foot. Still in possession of Sporting JAX though. Play it out in front. Takes a deflection and lands on top of goal. Fortunately for Tampa Bay.
Scary moment right there in the box for Tampa. A deflection can go anywhere. That one almost back into their own goal.
I believe this is going to be a corner for Sporting JAX. Approaching the final 10 minutes. Philpotts plays it in for Hughes. Puerta, who has the brace, first of her career, and first for Sporting JAX. Jesse Hunt. Now it's reset. Hunt on it again. Hunt's been heavily involved. What a ball across. But Pennick just couldn't make a play on it. Fortunate for Tampa Bay. That's behind Nacello. Taken back over by Sporting JAX.
Smart and savvy soccer being played right now by Sporting JAX. Off that corner, they decide to go short and bring it all the way around. Number one, to, again, manage the game, but also pull Tampa out. They don't want any counterattack opportunities happening for them. And then the cross into the box, just beautiful soccer, combining Sophie Jones being a main part of that attack for JAX. And they're doing everything right now, coming off those 2 goals being scored back-to-back by Tampa.
All 5 goals coming here in the second half. Jones. Gave it up. Now it's Philpotts. Tried to sneak it through, but couldn't get it by Haugen. And that's a Tampa Bay throw. Correction, they're calling for a sub.
For Tampa Bay. Entering the game,
2 more substitutions for Tampa Bay. McNeil will come out.
Also entering number 32, Alyssa Parsons. She replaces number 5.
And Jordan Listro will come off as well. So all 3 starting midfielders now out of the match for Denise Schulte-Brown. Alyssa Parsons enters. Emerson Elgin, who's on loan from Boston Legacy, also comes on. Jordan Listro, we talked to her at halftime. She was unhappy with the team's first half. Not sure she'll love this second half either, conceding the 3 goals, even though it's just a 1-goal game at this point. Hunt. And in the way of that was Bissett. Another corner coming for Sporting JAX.
And as the captain of this Tampa Bay Sun team, Listro takes a lot of responsibility for the way that the team handled themselves in that first half. She said it wasn't good enough on the team's part, and it wasn't good enough on her part either. Looking because of the possession that they didn't have and securing the ball was something that they wanted to work on coming into the second half. It didn't go their way as well. I'm sure she'd be disappointed to go to the bench. Knowing that her team is in reaching point of tying this game up, though, is going to give her some confidence.
Can the defending champs find that equalizing goal? They've trailed 3-0 at one point here in the second half.
And again, just smart soccer being played here by JAX. They go short on the corner kick once again, and then Hunt just playing this ball, doing the hard work to get it out of bounds for a throw-in rather than a goal kick. And the ball is in the deep defensive half of Tampa. It's easier for JAX to just keep them locked into this one side and defend from one area rather than giving them the goal kick and free reign of the whole field.
Puerta lost it. Recovered though. Time is running out here for Tampa Bay. But Parsons, just off the bench, moves it forward for Keene. Keene going long, but nobody home. Uh-oh, bad giveaway. Jamona. Tampa Bay couldn't turn that opportunity into anything, but Parsons recovers the miss hit. Body's just flying everywhere as Gaillard, who scored the first goal, couldn't corral it. Now Tampa Bay with possession. Nacello, an assist on the second goal. Cleared out for a Tampa Bay throw. Tense moments in the Tampa Bay Sun home opener.
We talked about the aggressiveness. Both keepers have been off of their line. Gerstenberg almost getting caught high in the transition moment, giving it away to Jamona. Her back line and midfield doing a great job of allowing Jamona not any space to turn and have a free chance to chip her over goal.
Substitution for Jacksonville. Entering the game, number 11, Andrea Fernandez. She replaces number 7, Jade Pennick.
Jade Pennick will come off. Andrea Fernandez, the Flagler College alum, a prolific scorer for the Flagler Saints, who made her pro debut last week, will come on for this final push here at the end. She led Division II in goals per match, shots on goals per match, and total points in her senior season. How about a 1.22 goals per match for Andrea Fernandez at Flagler? Not sure she's brought on here for her offensive prowess, more to get some fresh legs out there. The Sporting JAX tries to protect this 1-goal second half lead. All 5 goals coming here in the second half, starting with Hughes in the 50th minute. Puerta has a brace. Gaillard and Jamona got 2 back for Tampa Bay after they fell down 3-0. Shaky clearance, but Elgin chases it down. Actually, we'll let it roll out for a throw. Both teams did not win their openers last week. 2-1 loss for Tampa Bay at Brooklyn. 3-1 home defeat for Sporting JAX at the hands of DC Power. Spoiled their first ever home match. First ever match period. What a bounce back this would be a week later to come on the road and take down the defending champions. Nacello, watched by Phil Potts. Trickles all the way down to Gerstenberg. Stay up to date with the Gamebridge Super League. Sign up for the Super newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered to your inbox weekly. Sign up at GamebridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter. Highly recommend. I'm a subscriber. Are you?
I'm not. I should be.
Our producer, Brent, is also a subscriber. So you're outnumbered. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll have to join then. You can't beat him.
Well put. That's a foul and a free kick opportunity coming for Sporting JAX, leading 3-2 here in the 87th minute. Josh Appel, Jade Barquette with you. A slow first half, but a highly entertaining second half between 2 budding rivals.
Bizet just coming in here, flying through the attack for JAX. Shakes her head after that one, obviously frustrated with the call maybe, but also just how this game has gone.
'88th minute.
The referee has issued a yellow card to Tampa Bay's number 4, Vivian Bissett.
Bissett picked up a yellow there. 3 of the 4 on the back line that started the match for Tampa Bay have all been booked.
And you like to see aggressiveness from your back line, but getting booked 3 out of the 4 in your back line. It's not always the greatest in such an early spot of the season. And in a game where a lot of emotions have come out in this one and not necessarily smart fouls.
Daviana Vaca, University of Florida alum, spent last season with Fort Lauderdale, along with her twin sister Laveni, who had a season-ending injury last year. But Vaca, some fresh legs on that back line for Stacey Balaam. What a statement this would be for her and for Sporting JAX. Throw in for Tampa Bay. See how much added time we get. Jamona scored the second goal. Nearly 2,000 in attendance tonight for the home opener. And how about Fernandez and Sydney Nacello? Again, you talk about a budding rivalry. Nacello not afraid to show her emotions, her college career and into the pros. Getting a little bit into it with Andrea Fernandez.
This is the personality of Sydney Nacello. She's fiery on and off the ball. She's going to go to battle for her team, and especially in a situation right now where they're trying to get a goal back and at least get a point out of this match. It's been such a grind for Tampa this entire game, and Sydney Nacello, of course, going to let it out. Maybe not in the best way, but does get a set-piece opportunity here.
Long free kick, handled well by Sporting JAX. Races on for it, won and sent ahead. It's Fernandez. Moved off the ball by Bissett. 5 minutes of stoppage time. Throw in for Sporting JAX, and you know they're going to take their time.
5 minutes is a lot, especially in these final parts of the game where one slip of mentality or one break can be the difference maker.
Right now, the difference maker is Ashlyn Puerta's second goal in the 68th minute.
Tampa, not a team that's going to stop until that final whistle. They did score in stoppage time of their first match against Brooklyn.
In the 4th minute of stoppage time as well. They were down 3-0 in the 68th minute. They scored twice in 3 minutes. Gaillard and Jamona. Can they get the equalizer in stoppage time and avoid their third ever loss at home? Keane trying to win it. Flicked up into the air. Cleared away by Sporting JAX. It's won, though, by Bissett. And now Sporting JAX can play it away. Quick throw. Not a good one. Tampa Bay building forward. Nacello trying to create. Sydney Nacello, the MVP of the final last year. Nacello on it again. Watch closely. She goes down. That's a foul. Vaca was heavy on her. Nacello grasping that left ankle. It'll be a free kick opportunity in the dying moments.
Vaca being patient with Sydney Nacello with her quick footwork, closing that space, not allowing her to turn, and then just steps right there on her foot. Shakes it off. She understands what the ref was calling there, but Tampa, again, not going away. Another dangerous set-piece opportunity for them on the corner of the 18.
Nacello, one of the key players for Denise Schulte-Brown. Bissett stands over this. 2.5 minutes left. Rachel Sweat wants to have a word before the free kick. She's done a good job tonight. There have been some moments that she's handled well, kept emotions at bay. No pun intended.
Full of puns tonight.
You know, I try. All right, here we go. The free kick from Bissett. She goes short to Nacello. Nacello, oh, what a beautiful defensive play. That was Puerta. Tampa Bay right back on it though, but that was too much for Jamona. We talk about Puerta and her goal-scoring capabilities and her high soccer IQ. She has the brace tonight. We'll show it to you in just a moment, but she made an excellent play on the final, on the MVP of the final last year, Sydney Nacello.
Stopped her right in her tracks, not allowing her to go any further into her box. Puerta just doing a great job of being patient. You see her, she's looking at the ball, sees the moment where she can just touch it away and stop Sydney Nacello in her tracks and then driving up the field to try to just take more time off the clock.
Great ball. But again, aggressive off her line, Gerstenberg. Time running out for Tampa Bay. Gaines Ramos trying to win the battle of the spot. She does. Long throw, long way to go. Final seconds, Elgin. Does Tampa Bay have one more buildup in them? That's not going to do it. Sporting JAX raced out to the 3-0 advantage, and they survive the late rally from Tampa Bay. The final whistle blows, and Sporting Club Jacksonville have its first ever win in club history. They come on the road to Suncoast Credit Union Field and take down the defending champions 3-2.
What a way for Sporting JAX to come out in their second match as a club. Disappointed with the result in that first one, coming out here and making a statement at home for Tampa Bay. On the other side, for the Sun, disappointing in the way that they had to come out in this one as well. Not starting off on the front foot and then just couldn't find the momentum to claw back in this one.
Meg Hughes got the scoring started in the second half. It was 0-0 at halftime. Hughes in the 50th, and then Puerta was fouled in the box. She earned a penalty. She finished it off. First penalty conversion in the history of Sporting JAX. It was the first professional goal for Ashlyn Puerta. She followed that up just 5 minutes later to make it 3-0. And it seemed like it was going to be a down night for Tampa Bay, but they rallied 2 goals in the next 5 minutes in the 70th and then the 73rd. Jamona made it 3-2, but after that, Tampa Bay really could not put any threats together.
It just wasn't enough for what JAX had done, the work they had put in. And Puerta, a player that Coach Balaam was impressed with and proud of her performance in the preseason in that first match, talking about the high soccer IQ that she has as such a young player and the responsibility that they have put on her. You've mentioned throughout the broadcast that they have to remind themselves that she is so young, and so the responsibility that they put on her, she might not be ready for, but she takes it full on, and you can see in this game scoring 2 goals and putting her, really being the difference maker for her team.
She left Florida State as a sophomore, wanted to turn pro, and that decision is turning out to be an excellent one, and certainly a welcome decision for Stacey Balaam and Sporting Club Jacksonville. History-making night for the away side. First ever win in club history. The game winner in the 68th, Ashlyn Puerta. She has the brace, and she is about to join us here from Suncoast Credit Union Field. What a night for her, and what a night for Sporting Club JAX. Ashlyn Puerta joins us now. Ashlyn, Josh Appel, Jade Barquette with you here. First of all, congratulations to you and the club on the first win in club history. You had a fantastic night. We've talked about it all night long. You get the brace, but you also made a huge defensive play at the end. I'll let Jade ask you about the scoring, but I just want to know the mindset of the team. You guys take the 3-0 lead. and then Tampa Bay is able to answer with 2 quick ones. How did you guys stay in the moment and lock it down the final 20 minutes?
Yeah, I think we just, we were like, okay, we got this. We only have 10, 15 more minutes. We just need to keep the ball, don't let them get the ball, and go from there. So,
what did you see tonight on the offensive side of the ball to just create those chances in the box?
We had great numbers forward in the second half. So, take the space. We had numbers going forward, runners in behind, and we were able to convert on the end of it.
Ashlyn Puerta, first ever brace in Sporting Club Jacksonville history, and it turns out to be the game winner for Sporting JAX's first ever win. They pull off the upset on the road against the defending champs. Ashlyn, congratulations to you and the team. Go celebrate, and good luck. Hope to talk to you soon. That's Ashlyn Puerta, the 18-year-old. What a night for her. What a night for Sporting JAX. Jade and I will wrap things up for you here from Suncoast Credit Union Field. What a night for Sporting JAX. What a night in Gainbridge Super League. Plenty of fireworks in the second half at Suncoast Credit Union Field. Sporting JAX with its first ever win in club history. They go on the road and they take down the defending champions Tampa Bay Sun 3-2. Josh Appel, Jade Barquette with you as we take a look at the highlights. All 5 goals coming in the second half. It was Meg Hughes who got the party started in the 50th minute.
Just doing anything that she can to put her team on the score sheet, slipping this one in, and then just a late reaction by the Tampa goalkeeper doesn't allow her to save that one, and Hughes puts her team up 1-0.
Figured, all right, how would Tampa Bay respond? Well, it was Sporting JAX who kept the good times going after a foul in the box drawn by Ashlyn Puerta. She steps to the spot, scores the first PK goal in club history and the first of her pro career. She wasn't done. Just 4 minutes later, she added to it.
Taking this one individually and slipping it in with her left foot, cutting inside. You saw her keep her eyes up the whole time she was dribbling the back line of Tampa, and just an exclamation point on her game so far.
You figured, all right, 20 minutes to go. Sporting JAX would coast to this victory. They were up 3-0. Defending champs said not so fast. Off the bench, onto the score sheet, Gaillard off the corner.
Gaillard just unmarked in that back post. She nails this one home, and for Tampa, it was a moment, a spark of energy that they had needed.
Just 2 minutes later, Carly Jamona, she scored last week. She scores again on this setup from Cindy Nasello. Now with about 15 minutes to go, it was 3-2, just like that.
Cindy Nasello and Jamona connection is something that they're going to be looking for all season long. The initial cross by Nasello blocked. Keen pass right back out to her. Nasello chipping this one over, and then Jamona, right place, right time, put this one in the back of the net for Tampa Bay.
That was the closest Tampa Bay would get after that. They really didn't threaten in the final 15 or so minutes plus stoppage time. Here are the final stats from tonight. Possession heavily in favor of Sporting JAX, like it was in their 3-1 loss at home to DC last week. Shots ended up even 10-10. Only one shot on goal combined in the first half. 7 corners, though, for Tampa Bay. They did score off of one.
They did score, but they had so many opportunities off set pieces, something that Coach Denise Schulte-Brown is going to want to take to her team to want to capitalize on more as the season progresses.
The road does not get any easier for Tampa Bay. They are heading out on the road for 2 in a row, starting in Carolina next weekend. And for Sporting JAX, they'll try and make it 2 in a row at home against Dallas Trinity. History-making night for Sporting JAX. First ever win in club history. Ashlyn Puerta's brace turns out to be the difference. For Jade Barquette and our entire crew, this is Josh Appel saying so long from Suncoast Credit Union Field. We will talk to you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.